Hello lovely people, welcome to the channel. My name is Sharon. So today we have another very special guest. We have the wonderful character and spirit energy of John Inman. Now, I don't know if you know, but John Inman was a British actor, quite famously so, particularly in the 1970s, and he played a character called Mr. Humphries in a British sitcom called Are You Being Served? And it was such a wonderful, beautiful, simple, quite tongue-in-cheek programme that I absolutely loved and still do. And when it's shown on TV, on reruns or whatever, I still watch it and I still find it absolutely hilarious. Now, John Inman is dressed in a dark navy blue pinstripe suit. He sat opposite me. As I say in all my channeling videos, I have a chair that sat opposite me, and I invite spirit to come in. Whoever wishes to come through and have a seat, they are most welcome here, as is John. So he's wearing a dark navy blue pinstripe suit. He has a pale blue shirt on with a white collar, with a wow, you look fabulous. He's saying, thank you so much, my dear. With a bright red tie with white polka dots on it. And he's got a red polka dot handkerchief in his left jacket pocket. He looks just fabulous. Just exactly how I would picture him on an episode of Are You Being Served, which as I said, I absolutely adore. He's saying, oh, you are kind. So we've just been chatting for a while, and he's saying that I've just asked him about the show that he was in. And he said he absolutely loved that show and he was so proud to be part of it. And his catchphrase in particular with I'm free, he said during the course of the series, how many he's saying, I had to write it down because as I get information, you see, before I start filming, I tend to forget and it all goes out my head. So it ran from 1972 to 1985, the series. And I believe there were 10 series during that time. What he said to me was that the I'm free was kind of never really a thing for the first couple of series, and it gradually got kind of, he's saying, oh, so much more camp, darling. So much more camp, and like louder and higher, so that other characters would say it as well. So that kind of moved forward as the series did. And he's saying what they did, they looked for, it was actually filmed in front of a live studio audience as well, which he said was a bit of a nightmare, because he's saying that they used to fluff the lines, they had to wait for the cues. So he's saying that when they started filming, like at some of the beginnings of some of the episodes, you could see us like kind of standing there, you know, like a rabbit in the headlights waiting for the cue to come through, you know, so that they could start acting essentially. But yeah, he was saying that going back to the I'm free thing, the director really looked for the audience reaction to that, he said. And he, from very early on, he kind of understood that it seemed to be progressing into a thing, and it really did become the catchphrase. I can remember saying I'm free at school, you know, and probably actually at primary school. What was it, 72 to 85? So yeah, it probably would have been my primary school days. It's a long time ago. He's laughing now. He's saying, oh, not so long ago, darling. Not so long ago. Not in your time, of course. Okay, so what we have to remember, his energy is just wonderful. I just absolutely adore him. The only way I can describe it is very effervescent. He's saying, oh, stop. Like a bottle of champagne. He's saying, yes, that's willing to go off, my dear. He keeps calling me my dear and darling. I like that. I think that's just a very endearing quality. He just makes me happy. Really, his energy is just making me really happy. He sat there smiling at me, and I can see his face in my head. And he's kind of got this gap in his teeth. He's like, oh no, please, let's not go there. Let's not go there with the teeth. Okay. So we won't. But yeah, he's just beautiful. Absolute, just a wonderful, wonderful character. He's saying, but not just me. He's saying, I worked with the most amazing actors and actresses. He wants to make reference particularly to Molly and Wendy, he's saying. And of course, who played Miss Brahms and Mrs. Slocum. And I can always remember Mrs. Slocum and her pussycat, that she just used to call her Pussy. That was always a thing as well. She said, he's saying, oh no, he's saying it wasn't kind of understood as the word really back in that time. He's saying, but it was still a bit tongue in cheek. He said, and it had the audience roaring and us feeling quite embarrassed. But he's saying Molly just did it in such a wonderful, wonderful way. And of course, I'm talking about the wonderful character Molly Sugden, of course, and Wendy Richard. Both beautiful, wonderful, excellent British actresses in their own right. And, you know, of course, he said, please don't forget Captain Peacock. We have Frank Thornton. And yet just so many other. Oh, and he's saying, and Jug Ears. Who was Jug Ears? Oh, he's saying Nicholas Smith. Jug Ears, he was known. And he's saying he's just when they were working together, he was saying he felt so sorry for him. He said he used to oh, bless you. He's saying he used to get flack for his ears because his ears used to stick out a little bit. And I used to get such flack for my teeth as well. Oh, he's saying, just remind them that my name, John, is actually my middle name. His first name was Frederick, he said, but because I wanted to be a shining star on the stage of life, that's what he's saying. Okay, I'm just relaying to you how he is. Wonderful, wonderful energy. That he decided that Frederick was too long, too hard for people to remember, he's saying. Far too difficult for people to remember. So I decided to just use my middle name as John. Now, John Inman, he was gay in his physical existence, and he lived with his partner in London up until his transition to spirit. Can I say your date of birth and everything? Yeah, he's saying, yep. Oh, sorry, I've had to write it down, so I apologise. So he was born Frederick John Inman on the 28th of June 1935, and he died on the 8th of March 2007. He's saying he was quite poorly in his later years, and he suffered a lot with his breathing. He's saying he put it down to his flamboyancy, because he was always kind of shouting, and just this bubbly personality. He's saying it affected the breath. And I believe he had a fall, or he collapsed, which is when he's passed. Oh no, he's not having any of that. He doesn't want us to talk about that. He's saying, "No, darling, that's far too depressing. Let's go back to the good old days." Okay, well, trust me, John, I would love to go back to the good old days because, I'm a 70s baby and, obviously brought up in the 80s, etc. Yeah, old woman. So anyway, he's saying that show was really the highlight of his life and he absolutely adored it, and the people. He's saying, oh, Trevor Bannister as well, who played Mr. Lucas. He said he was so funny and so charming and just so wonderful and such a good sport. He was saying, when they had to play different characters or they had to dress up, which he loved doing, he was always such a good sport. They would always kind of dance together. Oh, he was saying, like Captain Peacock, Frank Thornton, would always be kind of one for the ladies. And he's saying Nicholas Smith, who played Mr. Rumbold, the one with the ears, jug ears, he was always the one that was kind of seen as, sorry, my nose is itching, that's Spirit close to me. He was saying he was always the one, kind of not the serious one, but had to be perceived as the serious one because essentially, if you don't know, this sitcom was based in kind of a big department store, and the male characters used to run the men's department and the lady characters used to run the women's department in this store, and it was kind of based around that. But he's saying Trevor Bannister, he would always such a wonderful sport and would just dance and mess around and be silly with everybody, really. He was such a wonderful character. And he's saying Nicholas Smith, Mr. Rumbold, he's saying, and I'm actually picking up on his energy as well, Nicholas Smith. Beautiful. Sorry, my nose is really going. I do apologise. Could you stop tickling my nose, please? He's saying, I'm just trying to make you smile. He's got a yellow feather in his hand and he's tickling my nose. Would you believe it? He's saying that, yeah, Nicholas Smith, Juggy is. I don't really like calling him that. He's saying, don't worry, he doesn't care. That's what he was known as. Just such a wonderful, warm character, lovely character. And I'm getting like this very gentle energy. I feel was he quite tall in, like, he said, oh yes, very tall, towered over everybody, but like almost like a gentle giant kind of energy. He was saying, he's saying he was so talented. He could play the piano back to front and upside down and inside out, he's saying. He's saying, but it was just wonderful. And I loved dressing up so much. It was wonderful. Oh, the costumes that they had. This is how he's describing it to me. He's saying there was one time when they did, which episode was this? Oh, a Christmas special. He's saying at Christmas special, and he had like this, he was dressed as like a kind of 18th century gent with like a tricorn hat and like breeches, he said, and big like high shoes. And he said that the breeches were silver, or and the jacket was silver. And he's saying it was just sparkly, and he had a waistcoat on and this huge hat. He said, and he came out of the lift because it was set with the gents department on one side, the ladies department on the other, and then at the back of the set there were stairs that led up to lifts or elevators either side. And he said, when anybody ever wanted to make an entrance, they would have them come out of the lift to make an entrance, and then you would walk down the stairs, and then you'd be there in all your glory, he's saying, in all your finery. He said, and he just absolutely loved the audience's reaction to that. And he's saying, if you were there, thank you so much. He absolutely adored each and every one of you, every single person that was in that audience. And he wants to thank everybody that ever watched the program as well. He said, and even now, he's saying, when it's on repeat on TV, he's saying there's still a lot of people that watch it. That includes me, because I do, because I love it. It was one of my favorite things. I was kind of brought up in the generation with the Carry On films, you see. So I'm kind of used to that kind of great British humour. You absolutely can't whack it. Quite tongue in cheek, quite dry, but just simple, beautiful humour, where yes, it might be a bit tongue in cheek, but there's no violence, there's no horrible things. It's just lovely and simple and innocent and fun. Okay, the nose thing, John, can you stop now, please? He's saying, yes, of course, my dear. What about the other cat? Oh, he's drawing me now to Molly Sugden. What an absolutely beautiful woman. I just absolutely adore her. It seemed like every week she had different colour hair, which I love. Like one week she would have pink, then she would have green, then blue, then purple, whatever. Love that. How awesome is that? He said, oh yes, well, you understand they're all wigs, darling. Yes, of course, but it doesn't matter. But Molly Sugden, personally, I just get such good vibes. He said, oh, you would absolutely, if you'd have met her in real life, you would absolutely adore her. She's just wonderful actress. He's saying that Molly and Wendy were amazing actresses, and they didn't get enough recognition for those parts, he's saying, and it was a shame, even though, as we know, or some people might know, that Wendy Richard went on to play Pauline Fowler in EastEnders, and she did that for years. Off the top of my head, I have no idea how many years she did that, but she was really famous for that. And she was quite a spiky character in EastEnders. I think they used to call her Fowler the Growler, I think, or something. He's laughing at that. He's saying, take her away from that, and she is a wonderful actress. But he's saying, oh, the laughs, my darling, the laughs that we used to have, fluffing our lines every 5 minutes. We didn't understand. We would forget the lines. We'd have to make them up. Somebody would speak over to us. Or over us. He said, oh, he's talking about Arthur Bruff now. And okay, thank you. Yeah, the spirit and moving stuff now in the room, which is good because we have evidence. I love it. If I ever hear or see anything out the corner of my eye, or I will always call it out for you, okay? I wouldn't just ignore it. But thank you, because that's just validation that spirit energy is heavy. And he's saying, because he was more of an elderly gentleman, he very often used to forget his lines or speak over people, when he's saying John's character was meant to be, he's saying my character, but I'll say it for your benefit, for our benefit. So when John's character was meant to be speaking, then he would speak over him and he'd have to shut up. He's saying, oh, the costume department were absolutely outstanding. He absolutely loved dressing up, as I do myself. He's saying that it was just wonderful. He said the sets used to wobble, they used to break. Did they really? He's saying, yes, they absolutely did. They used to break. He's saying a lot of it was made of cardboard that somebody would just paint. He's saying, oh, it's nothing like today, like the sitcoms have today. He's saying, actually, let's go back to look at the difference between the set on Are You Being Served to the set of EastEnders, where we've just been talking about Wendy Richard, of course. He's saying that is, excuse me, the set of EastEnders has been made and built of bricks and stone, bricks and mortar, specifically for that. He's saying that the set of Are You Being Served was like an old chest of drawers that somebody had chucked out in the rubbish or something like that, and they'd just like driven around the streets of anywhere, of London or wherever, picking up bits of cardboard and stuff like that, and then painted it and like essentially recycled it and used that as the set. How funny is that? Bless him. Oh, I absolutely adore you. He's saying, "Oh, will you stop now?" Oh, I've just had a flash. Oh, he's laughing now as well. He's just crossed his legs, and I've just had a flash of his shoes. He's got very shiny patent leather black shoes on, like your dress shoes. But yeah, he's, as I say with all my channelings of people, okay, they have to come, stop it with the nose. They have to come back to us in a way that we can recognise them, okay, which is why he's dressed in this manner, so that I can recognise who he is. Okay, his hair's quite short. He's got, it's kind of silvery. He's saying, oh, he was always very blonde, but it's kind of transitioning to grey, a bit like mine is now. Well, I've got my badger stripes coming through, so, but his is more transitioning to grey, and it's a beautiful colour. It's like silver. So with a side parting, kind of your traditional short back and sides, if you like. But he's saying, please don't forget, I'm free. Whenever you wish to talk to me, I'll always be here. Isn't that a wonderful thing? Is that what we should call this video then? He's saying. He's saying that, no, you should call it, Are You Free? Okay, then that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to write that down, because if I don't, I will forget. Are you free? I love it, John. Is there anything else you wish to share with us? He's saying, keep smiling, keep laughing, be free. He's saying, be as camp as you like. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Enjoy life. Take it for what it is. He's saying, look on life through the eyes of wonder, through rose-tinted glasses. Oh, and he's saying there was an episode where he was trying on all these sunglasses, and he absolutely loved them. He loved them. He's saying, oh, would you believe I even looked like Elton John in one of them? I can't remember that episode, to be fair. He's saying, oh, you'll have to search it out, because you'll know. He's saying they were star-shaped. So I'll have to look out for that. We'll have to look out for that episode, John. Yeah, he's saying life is sweet, life is beautiful, lighten up. Okay, lighten up. He's saying it's got quite dark on the planet now, hasn't it? Yeah, it has. It has. Lighten up. He wants more innocent comedy like that to come back. So do I. Oh, bring it back. Take me back. He's saying, no, don't say that, my dear. You can't go back. You have to move forward. I understand that. But, you know, I do reminisce for those days, I have to admit, a lot of the time, because life did seem simpler. Maybe it wasn't, I don't know, but it seemed it, didn't it? You know, when we're not sort of chasing the next iPhone or the next big thing or whatever, you know, people would just seem more inclined just to sit back and have a laugh and sit. He's saying it was such a wonderful time because people would just sit with the family, you know, of an evening and watch his program, as he calls it. Watch my program, and just have a laugh. And he's saying it would bring it all together. He's showing me the analogy now of, we might have the mother in the kitchen, the father watching the TV, kids in each separate bedroom, playing on the phones or whatever. He's saying we've lost that togetherness, So really, I think with his visit today, there is a bit of a serious message there, that he's sad to see. He's quite sad to see that there appears to be kind of a separation. He's saying, what's happened to communication? Well, I'm afraid now we have cell phones attached to our hands, don't we? They're super glued to our hands. That's our communication now. And he's saying, but it's making people lonely, which it is. It is making people lonely, which is a shame. And I think, from my perspective now, we're all into this doom scrolling, aren't we, as we call it now. And that's really a sign of loneliness, I think. We're looking for that connection again with people. And he's saying, but don't worry, because I'm here and I'm going to help you all, bring your tickle your funny bone. That's what he's saying. To bring your humour back. Tickle your funny bone. And your nose with my feather. That's what he's saying. Oh, bless you. He's saying he would love to see more programs like his, because he feels it would bring people together more, and it would start to recognise wonderful, wonderful actors again. He wants to thank everybody that he worked with, for making his life pure joy. That's what he's saying to them. Now, I think they've probably all transitioned, haven't they? He's nodding. So perhaps we could get Molly Sugden or Wendy Richard to come forward. I'll see if they wish to step forward at some point, because I think that would be amazing. I tell you what, let's get you all. I tell you what, this room would be packed if we did that. How cool would that be? Have the whole cast of Are You Being Served in this room with us together. That would be amazing. You're saying, oh yes, my darling, but can we all dress up? Absolutely. You can wear your silver jacket with the sequins. You say, oh yeah, absolutely. You say it'll be much better than that. Oh, okay, my lovelies. I think we're going to leave it there. John Inman, you are an absolute superstar. I just adore you. Thank you so much for coming to visit me. I am truly honoured. Thank you so much. I'm just going to release him now, okay? He's saying, oh, honestly, you're making me blush now. I'm going to skip off now and have some more fun. Oh, doesn't that sound wonderful? I actually feel quite emotional now. I don't want him to go. Okay, deep breath. Okay, he's gone. Sorry, I feel... For some reason, I just feel incredibly emotional. Just the most wonderful energy. The most wonderful, wonderful energy. I could absolutely talk to him for hours. I'm not kidding. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you. You are wonderful. If you feel so inclined, sorry, I'm choking back tears, then please like and subscribe to the channel, because it'll help me to get messages out to more wonderful people. Thank you to my spirit fam. Thank you for the messages, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.